From the octagon fire to the studio mics, tune in weekly, we're dropping the spikes, analyzing every punch, every kick that lands, maniacs in the game, playing with fans' demands. Ken's got the insight, Joe's got the flair, mapping out the fights will take you anywhere. So grab your popcorn, buckle up tight.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What's up, guys? Back again, MManiacs Podcast. Joined as always by Bare Knuckle Ken. What's going on, buddy?
What's up there, man?
Sorry, I just caught a coughing fit. Man. So, yeah. I just got back from training and, dude, so, you know, I've been telling you that I train with this former D1 Missouri wrestler, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we were sparring the time before last, I got a round off him, and I think he felt some kind of way about it because when we came in on Monday, he gave me a stiff receipt, dude. Let's say that. Like, yeah, dude. He beat me like I owed him money. Like, dude, he sat on my head and just smashed the shit out of me. And so I managed. I mean, as much of a rape as it was, like, I still had my moments, you know. Like, he managed to, like, he took my back and had full hooks in, and I managed to fight the choke arm and pull his hook off and escape a full back take. And, you know, he was going for an arm bar. I managed to hitchhiker out of the arm bar and roll. But when I rolled, I ended up back in the arm bar position. But I hitchhikered again. And when I hitchhikered...
Why don't you explain what the hitchhiker is there?
Okay. So, well, let me finish first. So I hitchhikered again, and he abandoned the armbar and then, like, just pushed me back into side control and then mount again. And then he went north-south, and he got me in this, like, head and arm, like, where he's basically smothering me. And I was sitting there, like, you know, where he's got, like, you got your forearm under their neck, and you got, like, their arm, and you got it, like, locked, dude. So he's basically driving his weight into the mat, into my head, and squeezing as hard as he can, and trying to get me to tap. And I was gonna tap. He wasn't choking me, but I was gonna tap because it's just uncomfortable as fuck. It hurts, and it's like, at the same time, it's like smothering you. So, like, I'm not choking, but it's like just slowly starving me of oxygen, dude. But I don't panic tap when I'm drowning anymore. You know, that's like the first 6 weeks of white belt shit, you know? So I actually stayed there for about probably a minute in that position, dude, just trying to, like, fight and, like, you know, push his arm. Like, I would push his arm a little bit and, like, you know, catch me a little air. Like, but finally I was like, you know what, dude, like, how long do I want to stay here? Like, you know, sometimes you just got to tap and reset, dude. Like, start again, you know? He got me. And then some of the guys were watching after. They were like, man, that was awesome. I was like, yeah, if you like snuff films, like. But, you know, I mean, I felt like they were just trying to be nice, like, you know, save my ego a little bit. Like, oh, man, you know. But, you know, I don't know. We all get our ass kicked. So if I got my ass kicked, I'm sure they would have just been like, man, it wasn't your day today, huh? Like, so, you know. But so to explain the hitchhiker is like, so when a guy's got you in mount and he's got your arm, he's going for the arm bar, right? You're gonna lock your hands to try to defend. So when he manages to break that grip and he falls backwards to go into that arm bar, you roll into him and pull your arm out. You know, so if he doesn't have good clamps on your with his legs, on your head, and on your body, if he's got good clamps, it's you're going, you know, your arm's getting broken. you're not going to get out with somebody who has high level clamps, you know. But his clamps weren't that tight, so I was able to roll into it and pull my arm out at least enough that he didn't have the arm bar anymore. And then I rolled. I did like a forward roll, but he rolled with me, and so I ended up back in the arm bar position. So he was trying to pull my arm back in between his legs, and I hitchhiked again, and that's when he abandoned the arm bar and he just like pushed me over into side control. It was like, oh, okay, you're not going to give up the arm bar. Well, then it's smashy smash time. And I was just like, fuck, dude. Like, probably should have just gave him the fucking arm bar, you know? Like, but
Yeah, it sounds like he made you pay for that one a little bit.
yeah, he made me pay, dude. But I mean, look at what I'm going up against, though, bro. Like, I'm going up against an elite D1 athlete. Like, he's my age, you know. So he hasn't been a wrestler for 20 years, but that shit just doesn't leave you, you know. Like, this dude's spent thousands of hours on the mats, you know, like training that high level pressure and breaking people's will, dude. And he broke me, but he didn't break my will. So like to me, it sucks getting your ass kicked, but at the same time, like I feel like I'm getting refined in a furnace, bro. Like, if I'm on the street and there's some guy that like, he's not going to be a fucking D1 Missouri wrestler, bro. I'm going to laugh at his pressure. His pressure, I'm going to be like, that's all, dude? Like, you know? Come on, man. Like, you know, I get worse than this in the gym, bro. Like, so. Yeah. So he made me pay, but hopefully, you know, like now that he's reestablished dominance, there will be we can get back to just being buddies again. You know, I don't think you can hold a grudge too long when you train with a guy every freaking day, you know, or 3 times a week. So anyway, dude, I heard an interesting rumor. I don't know if it's true, if it's confirmed, because the website, I saw it on Facebook, but the page, the Facebook page, I don't know if they're really accurate or not, but from what I read, they signed a fight between Jorge Masvidal and Nick Diaz.
Oh, no shit.
And I mean, yeah, Nick is old, right? But Jorge's old too. And, you know, we saw what Jorge did to Nate, but that's Nate. Nick is a whole other animal, dude. Like, Nick has always been the better of the two. So I know it's like, you know, that fight, it'll draw the hardcore fans, and, you know, like it'll draw people who understand what kind of a fight that's going to be. Like, that's going to be if that fight is true, that's going to be an absolute freaking war, bro.
Did you hear about when it might be?
I saw the date, but I don't remember it. But can you look it up real quick and just see if that's accurate? It might just be.
And you said it was Nick Diaz, right?
Nick Diaz, yeah. Nick's always been one of my favorite fighters, dude. Like, the reason I started liking Nate is because I like Nick so much. You know, Nick was my favorite fighter, and then you know, Nate started and he started coming on, and it was like, bro, I love the Diaz brothers. They're from Stockton, which is right like an hour away from me. They grew up, you know, poor and Mexican, just like me, like fighting in the streets. Like, bro, I am practically a Diaz brother, except I don't run triathlons. That's you know, and I don't smoke weed anymore.
Yeah, I don't see anything that suggests that this is actually happening. But he did come out and publicly say that he wants to have a comeback.
Yeah. I mean, well, that sucks, but at least it's out there in the universe, you know, like for the UFC matchmakers, they can look at it and be like, hey, that's actually not a bad idea, because I don't want Nick coming back and fighting the killers at 170, man. Like, I don't want to see Nick. He already lost to Robbie Lawler on Robbie's way out. The last thing I want to see is Nick come in and get killed by some of these young lions, you know? Like, give Nick a respectable fight. I think him and Masvidal is a perfect fight. Like, Masvidal has that burst of fight, you know, like Masvidal is a very good striker who fights in spurts. You know what I mean? He's got those explosive exchanges where he just like he'll throw 6, 7, 8 punches. You know, he'll come in boom, 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 boom. Like that's his style. Whereas Nick is a very, very good technical boxer who also works the body, something that Nate could. I'm surprised Nate never bothered to pick up because that's Nick's. Nick is like Nick is the kind of guy. Masvidal throws everything with bad intentions. Nick is the guy that'll sit there and tag you with 50% punches, 50%, boom, 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 and just keep tagging you, sap your gas tank out, and then he starts digging to the body like 100%, boom, boom, boom. Once you're losing, well, you know what I mean. Once you're starting to gas, then he starts hitting. He starts digging to the body, dude. Oh. Imagine how that would feel, dude. Like you're already gassed, and this dude is just beating your kidneys and your ribs up, dude. Like, oh, Nick just breaks people's will, dude. And that's why I always loved Nick. You've seen Nick fights,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, but it's been a very long time. But yeah, which one was the one that came up through Ultimate Fighter?
Nate.
Okay, that's the one I'm more familiar with.
Bro, then I get to introduce you to a legend. Go back and watch Nick Diaz in Pride and in Strikeforce, dude.
Uh-huh.
And his early UFC stuff. Nick Diaz was an absolute killer, bro. Like he was, man, like he was a beast, an absolute beast. Like George beat him, but he even gave George St. Pierre a fight, dude.
Holy shit.
George beat him with his wrestling, but Nick was no slouch, bro. Nick was an absolute killer. But I mean, he's 43 years old now or something like that, dude. Like he's my age, so it's a young man's game. So like I said, give him a legend fight, you know. But don't do him like that. Don't throw him in there with somebody who's like, you know, the top 5, top 10 guy right now, dude. Like I don't want to see that. Plus, Nick's been on the shelf for a while now. He was in rehab for a year, and you know, because he started drinking real heavy or whatever. Like the last thing I want to see is them feed him to the wolves, have somebody build their name off of him. You know what I mean? But anyway, I mean, we'll see what happens if he really is trying to fight. Like, I wish he would. I would like to see him fight one more time, just because I'd like to. Selfishly, I'd like to see him go out on a win, you know?
He was talking about, in what I saw, that he wants to come to try to fight either Islam or Marab, or not Marab, Islam's buddy there.
Which one?
The undefeated fighter. I've drawn a blank on his name.
Islam's buddy.
Yeah.
Khabib?
Yes, Khabib. Thank you. I was freaking.
Khabib, yeah, Khabib's not coming back.
Yeah, I thought that one was a little.
But it doesn't surprise me though, because Nick is not the kind of guy that's going to want to come in and beat up some journeyman. You know, like Nick is like he wants to fight the best because Nick really does believe he is the best.
Oh, yeah, because part of that was saying he wants to try to become a champion again.
Yeah, but I don't want to see Nick fight Islam, man. Although I will say I do believe, even as old as he is now, that he's not an easy out for Islam. Like Islam might be able to control him with the wrestling and everything like that, but like Nick is not an easy out for anyone, dude. And Nick has a high level black belt jiu-jitsu game, dude. Like he's a Cesar Gracie black belt. He's no joke, dude. Nick is he's a monster. But yeah, the odds would have to heavily favor Islam, dude. Like, you know, but if we could go back and get a time machine and we could get like 25-year-old Nick Diaz versus Islam, who now we're talking, dude. Like that would be, or even a 30-year-old Nick Diaz. You know, because Islam's already 30 something. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
give me a 33-year-old Nick Diaz versus a 34-year-old Islam, bro. It's yeah, that would be a fucking banger of a fight. But I think the odds would still favor Islam, but it would be much closer. But anyway, so what are we looking at for the next card? I haven't even seen the next Paramount card yet.
The next Paramount card or the next numbered event?
The next numbered event is a fight night, isn't it?
No, the next one I was talking about was 326.
Oh, okay. There's not a fight night before that?
There is. Hold on. It would be. Oh, the shit! This one should be a good one. February 21st. It's going to be headline by Sean Strickland and Anthony Hernandez.
Oh, dude. I don't usually watch fight nights, but I'm tuning in for that one, dude. Because the winner of that fight is going to be the next to fight Shemaev, dude. Because Anthony Hernandez is coming off a huge win, and Strickland is still, you know, top 5 guy. I think he's like number 3 maybe. So if Hernandez can get by Strickland, that's going to be interesting. But if he doesn't, if Strickland manages to win that fight, dude, you get Shemaev versus Strickland, and there is bad blood between those two guys, dude. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but dude,
I've caught a little bit of the wind of it.
Strickland shits all over Shemaev, dude. On social media, he's just always just talking big shit, dude. And it's like, bro, I hope you know what you're doing. Like, you know, because Shemaev, when he doesn't even have a problem with the guy, he's coming in to kill you. Like, he fucking hates you, dude. Like, you saw what he did to Rob Whittaker, broke his freaking jaw with just a jaw crank, dude. Like, you know, wait till he gets you down. What do you think you're gonna do? Like, and I like Sean Strickland. I actually agree with a lot of what he says too. Like, I know Sean isn't a very popular character among the libs, but I actually like Sean, dude. Like, he got into a little bit of a beef with I wouldn't call it a beef, but one of his teammates at the gym, one of his teammates at his gym was extremely unhappy that he chose to bring Kyle Rittenhouse to the gym. And he was like, "Why would you bring him here?" Crying. And Sean's just like, okay, like, you know, Kyle is a very unpopular guy among Democrat circles, but he was just like, this dude was like crying like a little beezy, like, why would you bring him here? You know how I feel about that. Like, like if I was Sean, I would have just been like, dude, shut up. Like, either get in the cage and do something about it, or just shut up. Like, stop being a little broad, you know. Like, but whatever. Like, so yeah, Sean, dude, he's been talking big shit about Shemaev, and Shemaev is like talks some shit too, and honestly, I'm with it. Hernandez is also an interesting fight. You know, Hernandez is coming off a big victory. It was close to a year ago. It was a while back, 8 months ago, maybe or more. I forget who he beat, but can we look that up real quick? His last win was big. Wasn't Imavov. Because I think Imavov is supposed to be the next one getting the title shot.
Roman Dalazid.
Oh, Deletes?
Deletes, okay.
Yeah. That was his last win?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I thought he had one bigger than that, but
yeah, his last one was August of 2025.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's in the top 5, right?
Oh, hold on, I will check real quick.
He should be.
Yeah, he's 4 and Strickland's 3.
Yeah, I thought so because the leads was like, I think number 6 or 7 at the time that he beat him, and he mollywopped him. So I figured he would get into the top 5. It's a good fight for him. Like I'm glad that they didn't give him a title shot just off that Deleeds fight. Like make him earn it against one of the top guys, like either Dricus or Strickland. You know, it'll be interesting to see. Does Dricus have a fight booked right now? Because it'll be interesting to see what does Dricus do, man. Like after what happened with Shemaev, you know, I would be hesitant to throw him back in there with Shemaev right away.
I'm not seeing anything so far for him having a fight lined up.
Good. Hopefully he's in Dagestan right now. Hopefully he's training with Islam and Khabib right now.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything at all about him fucking having a fight already scheduled.
Yeah, he needs to go work on his wrestling. If he's going to have any chance against Shemaev, he needs to go to Dagestan and go work on his game right there, dude. So is Shemaev booked for a fight already? He should be booked. I think it's Imavov is the number 1 contender, right?
Dricus,
Dricus is number 1 because Dricus just lost the belt.
Yes, and then Imavov is 2.
And then Strickland is 3. Hernandez is 4. Who Izzy's 5? Or is Izzy lower down?
Izzy's 6. Braden Allen is 5.
Interesting. I'll be interested to see what they're going to do with Izzy too. Like, you know, where's he gonna fight next? The middleweight division is kind of interesting because Shemaev realistically has a chance to go on a huge run, dude. He could have multiple title defenses. But if Strickland can beat Hernandez and Strickland can force him into a stand-up fight, that would be interesting.
Yeah, there's nothing booked for him yet either.
And you know what?
They were just speculating about who he's going to fight about a week ago.
You know what would be interesting? Like I like Hernandez, but I'm kind of rooting for Strickland in that fight because Strickland, as quiet as it's kept, Strickland has the best takedown defense in the division. Like you might be able to get him down, but you're not going to keep him down, right? So it's the ultimate test because what is Shemaev? It's like Shemaev, if he gets you down, you're not getting up. Whereas Strickland, if you get him down, you're not keeping him down. So it's like it'll be a really fantastic fight in that sense, like to see who's able to impose their will, you know? Like who would you lean towards in that fight?
Now, I like Strickland, but I've seen Shemaev just dominate people too easily, and that's stuck in the forefront of my mind, so it's hard to get off of that.
Yeah, I favor Shemaev too. And I think that there's actually a non-zero chance that he dog walks Strickland. But
I can see it.
But I also, like I said, Strickland, that's kind of the litmus test though for me for that division, because if he can dog walk Strickland and you know take him down and keep him down, he's gonna defend that title 10 times, dude. Like as long as he wants, he's gonna be champ because there's nobody else in the division that has the takedown defense that Strickland does.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be like, man, that's gonna be crazy if he can dog walk Strickland, dude. What's the 326 card looking like?
Wow. You got Holloway and Oliveira main eventing it. And then you got Brian Ortega versus Renato Moicano.
Renato Moicano.
Okay.
And I mean, Moicano's a good fighter, but wait, Moicano? Why is he fighting at 45? Or are they fighting at 55?
They're fighting at lightweight.
Yeah, 55. I was gonna say Moicano's a lightweight. He just fought Islam not too long ago
Oh, okay.
and got beat in the first round. But yeah, I mean Ortega versus Moicano is an interesting fight. But Ortega hasn't really been himself for a few years now. It'll be interesting to see Ortega at 55 because he's fought at featherweight his whole career. And I wonder if maybe the weight cuts are just getting to be too much, you know? And Ortega, like, he's got an okay boxing game, but he's a jiu-jitsu specialist. Like, that's his real bread and butter. So it'll be interesting to see not having to cut as much weight if that, gives him more juice. And it'll be interesting. What else is on the card?
And you got Kaio versus De Ritter.
Who?
Kaio versus De Ritter.
Oh, Kaio and De Ritter?
Mm-hmm.
Man, why do they keep giving Kaio fucking strikers, though, dude? Like, it's like they're bound to determine that this dude's not going to ever get a title shot, bro. Like, give him a freaking grappler one time, dude. Like, bullshit. It'll be an interesting fight, but I mean, De Ritter's a kickboxer, dude. So it's like, what he's gonna do. And Kaio can strike, but it's not even the striking game is not even gonna be close. Like, he's gonna really have to find a way to get that to the mat, dude, in my opinion. I would rather see that wouldn't work because he's 55. But like, if you could balance it out and have him fight at 170, I'd rather see De Ritter and Hoofy fight because Hoofy has the stand up game to hang with him. Kaio, yeah, I don't like Kaio's chances in that fight, but we'll see.
In that fight, do we get more of a breakup between the fighting nerds, or?
No, I don't think so. I mean, define more of a breakup. Like, if Kaio loses, they're going to kick him off the team or something?
Well, isn't he the one that was backing up Hoofy?
Yeah, he's backing up Hoofy, but he's not backing up Hoofy against Silva. He's just saying, like, because, people are speculating, like, well, is Hoofy off the team? And Kaio came out and said, "Nah, man, like Hoofy's good, dude. Like he's with us,
Okay.
Whereas Silva made it personal and it's like, nah, there is no more Hoofy and Silva. Like, like there is no more friendship there. Like, which is kind of like some little girl shit to me, to be honest with you. Like, how dare you go to another team to try to get better in your game and try to win a title? Like, it's like, come on, bro. What are you taking it so personal for? And I talked to my professor about it. I was like, dude, like, I don't understand why Jean Silva is talking smack, But I asked him, I was like, do you think that they'll like settle it in the gym, with like nobody but the team around? He was like, no, Hoofy kill Silva. He's like, no, Hoofy will kill Silva, dude. Like, I was like, you think so? He's like, oh yeah, Hoofy kills Silva. So, yeah, we'll see, man. There's also, Max and Charles, which it's an interesting fight to break down. Charles, he's still technically Charles, I guess, but after that Elia fight, it's like, I don't know, man. I hope that didn't crack his chin forever. Because then I think Max will probably knock him out too. And Charles is no spring chicken. So, this might be Charles's last fight. If not, then he's maybe got one or two left. Max is kind of getting to that area too. Like, Max is probably going to hang him up pretty soon too. The one thing I don't get is why would you make that fight for the BMF though? Like, Charles, as good as Charles is and as good of a finisher as he is, he's not known for knocking people out. He's not known for standing there and being like fighting stand up wars. Like he'll fight. He has had some moments in fights where he'll have a stand up banging, war, but he always uses it to jump on your back, like if he can rock you or if he can get you, just stun you for a second, he uses that opportunity to hop up on your back and choke you. So I think it's an interesting fight, but I don't know necessarily that it should be for the BMF belt. Like, just my opinion. I think there's better fights that could have been made. I honestly, like, now that I think about it, a really good BMF belt fight would have been Max versus Saint Denis, Benoit Saint Denis. That fight, because Benoit is the type of guy that, like, he's got 1 or 2 rounds of cardio in him, and he's just going balls to the wall, dude. So it would be interesting, especially in a 5-round fight. Can Max weather the storm? Because I do believe Max can outbox him, but can Max weather the storm for the first 2 rounds? Because if he does, I believe he takes the fight. And it'll be easy by round 3 or 4. He'll be winning easy. Might even probably even put him away. But I mean, I get it. Charles. So Charles, I was talking about Charles and Max. Like, I like the fight. It's an intriguing fight. I just don't know why they decided to make it the BMF fight, though.
That's what I was kind of wondering. Because, yeah, Charles has the accolades of being the number 1 finisher in UFC history and all that. But the last time we saw this guy, his eyes were reading tilt. It's kind of hard for me to say, that's a bad motherfucker right there. I know he is because of watching him before. But with that being the last image of it, like, to me, that's not a guy that should be fighting for the BMF belt. I think that this is kind of their way of giving him a send-off, that they might be making Max the career killer.
Yeah, they might. Max is finishing off the old legends. Like, he did it with Poirier. He did it with Gaethje. Now Charles. Like, I could see that. That's not the reason for me, like, why I don't like it for the BMF. Like, I agree with you. Like, that's the last image we have. For me, it was more like, when was the last time we saw Charles knock somebody out? Like, when was the last time we saw Charles have a 5-round stand-up fight? Like, Charles's whole thing is he's not afraid to throw him. He'll chuck him with you. Like, and so I could see why you could say, okay, it's the BMF, but Charles's thing is, as soon as I land that one good shot that's gonna, like, stun you for a second, I'm jumping on your back. I'm gonna jump on your back and I'm gonna choke you. Like, and that's the interesting part of the fight, is can he do that with Max? Because Charles can box. He can. And he has decent power. Like, he actually put down Chandler. He put down Gaethje. Like, he has power. And he has a chin, because he's gone toe-to-toe with some of the harder hitters in the division. I know Elias, but that's Elia, bro. Like,
that's a different animal.
I'm not looking at, like, just because Elia can do that doesn't mean Max can do that.
Because, I like Max a lot, too. Max is an incredible boxer, but he's definitely no Elia when it comes to power.
No.
Like,
Max
I don't even think it's the same. Yeah, I don't even think it's the same scale. Ilya's going to beat. Max is going to beat you on pure boxing skill.
Yeah, and Max finishes guys, but it's volume. It's not power.
Yeah,
and I mean, he does have some power, because, bro, Gaethje, like, to put Gaethje out like he did. But people kind of...
Hey, I was going to say, that was also with a wide open jaw, too.
That's what I was going to throw in there, is, like, people, they sort of tend to forget, like, because he pointed to the middle of the octagon and said, let's chuck him, people kind of seem to forget that Gaethje had a broken nose, so he had to have his mouth open to breathe, so he's not clenching his jaw, so when he got caught, it's just...
That went straight to the nerve.
It's loose jaw, dude. Yeah, it's loose jaw. Yeah, you're going out, dude. So not to take anything from Max, he still landed the punch, and
Oh, absolutely.
he flatlined him, dude. And
Mhm.
there's no complaining about it because he broke Gaethje's nose with the kick. It wasn't an
Yep.
accident. Like Max did what he had to do, and he knocked him out. But there's nuances to it, is all I'm saying. Like,
Mhm.
and so I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. Um, I think Charles's only real chance is to land that shot that can get him onto his back, right? And it can get him onto Max's back. Charles is a live dog, though. Charles's
Oh,
jujitsu,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah. I'm not going to sit here and say he's got no fucking chance. It's just if this stays stand up, I heavily favor Max with it. But if it gets towards the ground, it should, let me rephrase that. If they get close enough for Oliveira to fucking grab him, I think that gives Oliveira a good shot because we've seen him finish guys standing.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Oliveira is like Patty Pimblett 3.0, dude. Like how Patty is like create chaos to make the scramble and then use the scramble to just get into the position for a choke, right? Charles is that, but 3 times as fast with it. Like it is absolutely amazing how fast Charles can go from hitting you with a punch to all of a sudden he's on your back choking you.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the fastest in the world at it, dude. In mixed martial arts, at least, his transitions are flawless, dude. His offensive jujitsu is ridiculous. His defensive jujitsu, I mean, I think he's a world champ. So, like, obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say he has a shitty guard game or anything like that. Like, who am I to talk to, you know what I mean? To talk about Charles like that. But I'll say that it's not the bread and butter of his game.
Mm-hmm.
His game is offensive jujitsu, So we'll see, man. Who are you picking in that fight?
I really like Oliveira. Like that guy is severely entertaining. But I think Max continues the legend killer streak with this one.
And let's not forget, I mean, can you look it up? I think Charles is like 38 right now, dude. Charles is old.
He's pretty old. Hold on.
And Charles is at
He's 36.
okay, 36. 36 at lightweight is old. I mean, that's where Gaethje's at. Gaethje's 37, right? Like that's you're nearing the end of the line, dude. Like if this isn't Charles's last fight, I honestly think if Charles loses this fight, he might hang it up.
That's what I got the feeling too. That's why I kind of refer to it as the legend killer with Max, because we saw it happen with Dustin Poirier, and it kind of feels like they're setting this up the same way.
Like Max is going to put all these legends on the shelf. Yeah, I don't know that I like that.
I'm not saying whether I like it or not. It's just I got that feeling.
No, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think you're probably right that that's what they're trying to set up. I just don't know if I like that because I like Max and Max is a legend himself, but I don't know. It's not for me. Like to make Max the legend killer all of a sudden, you're gonna have him
I
beat
mean,
guys that are
to
over
be
the hill.
to be fair, he's an old guy himself. He's 34.
And he's an old 34. Like
Mhm.
Max has been fighting since he was like 21, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of my point with it is that he's the legend killer, but it's still not like to where at least the youth factor is a major disadvantage. These guys are all right around his age.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. I mean, it's not like they're feeding him to a 25-year-old lion, dude, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, I don't know. It's good for Max's legacy, obviously. They're trying to build Max up. He'll be the guy that retired Poirier, the guy that retired Oliveira.
That's a hell of a thing to hang your cap on.
Yeah. But I'm going for Charles in this fight. I like Max. Max is a good dude and a good fighter, but I want to see Charles upset the apple cart. You know what I mean? I want to see him like land that good shot, hop on his back, and just strangle him, dude. You know, because everybody's probably picking Max. I'm interested. Do they have the odds out for that fight yet? You said it's on the 21st, right? Or is that the fight night?
That the fight night's on the 21st. This one's I think March 7th.
Okay.
Right. As of right now, it is Holloway minus 200 and Oliveira plus 154.
That's not bad. I mean, they're making obviously Holloway's the favorite, but he's not a heavy favorite.
Mm-hmm.
They're that I'm okay with that. They're showing Charles some respect there at minus 155. I mean plus 155. They're showing him some respect there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they recognize he's a live dog too. And I'm going for Charles, man. I mean, for obvious reasons, right? Like he's the jiu-jitsu guy. Like
just like I'm going with Max because he's the boxing guy.
yeah, it's all good, man. All good. We're gonna find out. Well, you know, like we're gonna find out. I hope Charles can get it done, dude. Because that would be dope. Like he's already I think he's a 2-time lightweight champion.
I'm pretty sure.
And he has the most finishes in UFC history. So if he finishes Max, he adds to that. Plus he gets the BMF belt. I mean, if I'm Charles, if I win, I might hang it up.
Oh shit! If I win, I might try to squeeze out another big fight out of it. Since I got the BMF belt, fuck it, might as well milk one more payday out of them.
Do you defend the BMF belt?
I would bucket
for that last fight. Because I was talking about it and I was like, you know what I think would be a banger fight for the BMF would have been Max versus Benoit Saint Denis.
I definitely would like that because Benoit Saint Denis, that's that fight that we just watched of his is one of the few fights of his that I actually remember in that, and he impressed the ever living hell out of me with that fight. I want to see how he can do with Max's timing.
Yeah, and not just that, but it's a style fight, right? Like Max is a volume striker who's going to outstrike you over the course of 5 rounds, whereas Benoit comes in and shoots his load after by the second round, his balls are empty, dude. Like,
and Max is a pretty damn decent counterpuncher too. When you got a counterpuncher going up against somebody that's just all forward, and that's one of the reasons why I like Saint Denis there, is seeing that all forward type of fighting style. You don't see too many guys run with that.
No, he doesn't take a step backwards, man.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also intelligent with his pressure for the most part. Like that's what I think makes it interesting is that, and Benoit can punch, dude. Mm-hmm. He can clip, dude. But he tends to shoot his wad by the end of the second round, dude. Like, you know what I mean? He's just so forward pressure that by the end of the second round, it's like his gas tank is depleted, dude. So, I mean, it would be interesting if he, hopefully he's working on his cardio, because if you're going 5 rounds with Max, like you're going to need all the cardio you can get because he's going to keep you moving. Max is going to, it's going to be hard to walk Max down for 5 rounds, dude. Mm-hmm. But Benoit Saint Denis has the power to actually finish him. Mm-hmm. If he can finish him, if he can hit him early, he could finish him. But Max is so sharp with the boxing, though. That's why I said that would be a banger BMF fight, dude. But if Charles can beat Max, I wouldn't mind seeing Charles versus Benoit either. See how Charles weathers the storm, and then You know?
I almost got the feeling, and this is just pure gut instinct, nothing to go off of it. But with Benoit's style going up against Oliveira, I think Oliveira is just going to use that as the trap to set up his submission.
So you think he has a better chance against Max than he does
Yes.
against Charles?
Yes.
Styles make fights.
Because at least with Max, it's pretty much going to be a fucking let's stand and bang type of shit. Not point in the center of the ring the whole fucking fight, because Max is obviously going to box the guy. But you at least have more of a shot that way, in my mind, versus the man that can fucking pull the submission pretty much out of his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got that kind of pressure, it's real easy to make simple mistakes.
And Benoit, like, it'll be interesting if it ends up on the ground to see how he handles that kind of pressure that Charles can put on you, dude, with that jiu-jitsu, like, because let me tell you, like, having somebody on your back, whether you're standing or not, standing is even worse because you're carrying all their weight on your legs, just gasses your legs. But even on the ground, like, having somebody just riding you for round after round, dude, like, it's exhausting, dude. It's really exhausting. So, we'll see. If I'm Charles, I might consider hanging it up, but I could be talked into another fight, especially if it's a BMF, like defend the BMF belt. Who would you like to see? Looking at that top 5 to top 10, like let's break down the lightweight top 10. Who would you like to see Charles? If Charles wins, who would you like to see him fight? And if Max wins, who would you like to see him fight?
For Charles, now.
Let's go through the top 10 first so that we can.
Okay. You got Justin Gaethje at 1, Armin at 2, Charles at 3, Max at 4, Benoit at 5, Paddy Pimblett at 6, Gamrot at 7, Hooker at 8, Hoofy at 9, and Renito, whatever the fuck his last name is.
Moicano at 10.
Moicano. Shit. I gotta say, I wouldn't mind seeing him go up against Armin, since they're both grapplers.
Who, Charles?
Yes.
I think they just fought.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they just fought and Armin actually won.
Oh, no, they did in 24. Okay.
Yeah, they just fought.
Oh, no shit.
Actually, so how about this one? So if Charles wins, because they're not going to give Charles another shot at Ilya right now, dude.
Yeah.
If Charles wins, I say Charles versus Paddy.
I was thinking that, but I think you got to give Paddy somebody else in between before you give him that BMF belt.
Well, it doesn't even have to be for the BMF belt. Like, so Charles is going to fight right now, right? Paddy just fought.
Yep.
So Paddy's next fight, he's probably going to have to fight down the rankings, you would think, but who knows? Because Charles is the one guy in that top 5 that presents an interesting challenge for Paddy. Like, they're both jiu-jitsu guys. Charles is probably the better striker, but Paddy has the length, and Paddy's striking isn't terrible. His defensive striking, his defensive boxing has a lot that could be worked on, right? But what do you think about that fight, Charles and Paddy?
I think it'd be a good jiu-jitsu match.
That'd be a high-level jiu-jitsu match,
because I honestly don't expect that one to stay standing long, with it being pretty much both of the guys' bread and butter. Now, granted, like you said, Oliveira is more proficient standing than Paddy is, but I'd almost have the feeling if that's going to be your last fight for Oliveira, fucking, I want to go out and prove that I'm the best fucking jujitsu practitioner. And you're starting to hear all the fucking rave reviews Patty's getting. Wouldn't it be nice to cap out your career by nipping some more of his hype?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that fight, dude. Honestly, if you're Max, who are you looking at for Max? Because he's not getting another title shot against Ilya right now.
Yeah.
Even if he beats Charles, do you put him up against Armin? Because Armin is actually supposed to. I think Armin, after Gaethje, Armin is supposed to get the next title shot.
Mm-hmm.
But we've talked about this before.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, if it's for the interim belt, sure, give me Armin and Max. But I don't think you get that as too much of a regular fight because Armin's made it quite clear that he wants to be fighting for the belt, and we've pretty much made it quite clear that we see Ilya defending this belt once and moving up.
Mm-hmm.
So it would set the stage for it.
I just don't. To me, it makes perfect sense, don't you?
It makes sense, but I don't know if I want to see Max Holloway get wrestle fucked.
No, I'm not talking about Max versus Armin. I'm talking about Ilya chasing up Islam.
Oh yeah,
sense.
1,000%.
He has way more to gain by going up to fight Islam than he does staying to fight Armin. You know, like Armin Sarukian, as good of a fighter as he is, he doesn't have half the name recognition that Islam does. Like, and it seems like Ilya is on a mission for trophy scalps. Like, he wants to nail all the legends to the wall, you know? So, yeah, I could see Ilya defending against Gaethje, knocking Gaethje out, and then moving up. And, you know, his first fight will be against Islam, which leaves the 155 belt wide open, though. So you're going to have a vacant title fight. Armin's going to be in it. So, you know, it's who's Armin fighting. That's why I said if Max beats Charles, it makes sense to put Max in it because it's not Ilya anymore, and it's an intriguing fight. It's the classic grappler versus puncher, you know, grappler versus striker fight. I agree with you. I think Max gets wrestle fucked, and I don't really want to see that. It's not going to be an entertaining fight. As good as Armin is at what he does, it's not entertaining. You know,
I can massively agree with you there.
So we know that Dana doesn't like Armin. Wouldn't it be funny if like Max wins, Ilya moves up, and then like they just totally shit on Armin and they get two other people to fight for the belt?
That's when you get the Max versus Saint Denis.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Saint Denis, I think he's got to beat somebody in the top 5 first.
He is top 5. He's number 5.
I know, but I think he's got to beat someone in the top 5.
Okay.
I think he's got to beat a Charles or a Gaethje or a Max. He's got to beat somebody. You know what else I think would be a really good fight? Even though it would be fighting down the rankings for Benoit. Paddy versus Benoit Saint Denis.
Well, it's only fighting down one spot.
That's what I mean, though. But I mean, tell me you wouldn't watch that fight. Like,
oh yeah,
that fight would be intriguing, dude.
Because now half of me watching any Paddy Pimblett fight is going to see who's able to finally crack his jaw. Because that dude took one absolute hell of a beating from Gaethje and still kept coming.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see once that jaw finally cracks. And
I'm still a little salty though because he took a couple hell of eye pokes too that were unnecessary, and I wasn't digging that. Like, I'm not saying Gaethje would have lost if he didn't eye poke him, but those eye pokes sure didn't help.
I was gonna say maybe Paddy wouldn't have come out looking like Frankenstein.
Those eye pokes sure didn't help. That's all I'm saying. You know, That was kind of fucked up for that to happen that way. What do you think happens with Tom Aspinall, man? Because Aspinall's having to have another surgery on his eye, and he's got Dana White shitting on him. Like, that's what I don't understand, bro. Like, John Jones already dipped out and left Tom to basically fight Gone, fight Gone, and then he gets eye poked, and to me that was literally the most egregious eye poke I've ever seen in my time watching MMA. It was filthy, dude. He went knuckle deep in his eye, dude, and there's nobody that's gonna tell me he didn't because we saw the replay. Right?
You not only saw him go knuckle deep, you saw once he registered that it was there, he pushed farther in, and then not only did he have the one that pushed in, the other one dragged across his eye.
Yeah.
I can see why the guy's had 3 fucking eye surgeries.
Yeah, but the thing is like Dana doesn't make sense to me sometimes because it's like, bro, your heavyweight division is shit, right? You have Tom. Tom is the only real bright spot in that whole division. And you're going to sit here and shit on him because he got eye poked, the most egregious eye poke in the history of MMA. And then you're going to sit here and you're going to chase away your only star at heavyweight.
It makes you wonder if Dana White feels a certain type of way from the way Aspinall was going at John Jones, that you came after my freaking golden goose like that. How dare you? And I'm going to do what I can to bury you.
Well, Dana has historically gargled John Jones.
And it wouldn't be the first fighter that's gotten buried.
No. I mean, look at what he's doing with Armin right now. He buried Marab for a while, too. But until he couldn't deny him anymore. Like, I mean, once you win fucking, 10, 12 fights in a row, it's like, bro, like, I got to give you a shot now. It's, it just becomes inevitable. And that's where Armin is kind of at now, is like, he's just, he's made himself undeniable. But it doesn't mean he's going to be an entertaining champion, So, yeah, I don't know, man.
Hey, thanks for stopping in, Brent.
Yeah, what's up, Brent? So we'll see what happens, dude. I'm excited for that fight night card, though. Strickland versus Hernandez is going to be a good fight. And, man, if Strickland wins, I think he's next for Chimaev after Imavov, because Imavov is number 1, or it is number 2, and Imavov should be getting the next shot because Drickus sure ain't getting it, right? So
well, it is that time.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Time to go, guys. We thank you guys for joining us. Come back next week. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tell a friend. And thank you guys. Ken, you got anything to say on the way out?
Nope. We will see y'all next Sunday. Or next Wednesday. Wow.
Yeah, yo, it's game time. Ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network, the best in town. From NFL rumors to the latest trends, we got all your sports. Just tune in, my friends. Catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, take your pick. Facebook, YouTube, where the action's slick. Daily shows that drop like a bomb. From 10 to 11, it's Ken and Ken. Stay calm.